Like to go across to France 24 is Benedict Pavio standing by in London. Benedict, no surprises that the King's speech got a prolonged standing ovation from lawmakers at the French Senate. Now, one of the things King Charles III proposed was a new Entente, a Franco-British Entente to tackle climate change. This, of course, comes as the government there backpedals on pledges.
Well, yes, and that we suddenly got this press conference hastily arranged that was actually due to be either today, tomorrow, or not yesterday afternoon, which I think Buckingham Palace will have been slightly frustrated by, because it's overshadowed both in the news bulletins, news programmes, and also in some of the coverage of the press. But of course, biodiversity, climate change, sustainable development, these are things that King Charles is not talking about because it's trendy in 2023. These are things that he has for years been talking about when he was Prince of Wales, that he has travelled about, informed himself about. When people made fun of him and said, oh, yeah, gosh, a prince, one day going to be a king, and he's talking to trees. Actually, now people, whether it's here in the United Kingdom or further afield, and indeed we saw during COP26, leaders around the world who have a lot of respect for this now king, who in that sense was quite visionary, who has always believed in organic farming that does what he can in myriad ways to try and encourage that. So that's a very important initiative that he is now adding to the Entente Cordiale, which of course will have its 120th anniversary next year. I think it was the fact that he spoke very beautifully in French, as he did last night at the Palace of Versailles, will again be part of this charm offensive, this persuasive way that he has. His sense of humour, his very opening words, asking the parliamentarians listening to him in this beautiful French Senate, a first for a British monarch, saying, and by the way, you can see some of the beautiful pageantry here as we speak outside Buckingham Palace on today, a sunny day. Very much King Charles in his role, knowing that he needs to persuade more people. And I thought it was very interesting that peppered throughout his speech, when he talks about climate change, when he talks about the G7, the G20, the UN Security Council, the fact that the UK and France are permanent members in this UN Security Council, those are all very important, fundamental, crucial collaboration in defence, in strategy, in intelligence, much needed in the past, currently and in the future. But he was then really at pains throughout his speech to underline that it's the peoples of France, the peoples of the United Kingdom who choose to live in the respective countries, who choose to visit each other, all the businesses. That is what forms the day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year connection. And that was a theme last night in his toast at the Palace of Versailles, when he talked about how this Entente Cordiale is renewed with every generation. He didn't just include politics in that. He referred to the cultural world, the artists that we share between France and the United Kingdom, and of course, importantly, the fact that France is hosting the Rugby World Cup. And for that, he used a very interesting, very short, again, British humour displayed in French, when he said about that, and he included the fact that his son, the heir to the throne, Prince William, and his wife, so King Charles's daughter-in-law, will be here supporting, as are tens of thousands of fans in France, whether it is the Welsh team, the English team, the Northern Ireland team that's part of the Ireland team, and the English team. And then he added in French, as I said, with this British humour, pas de coups bas et que le meilleur gagne. No low blows and may the best win. And he got a great applause and laughter from those parliamentarians. So a man really trying to deploy all of that knowledge that he has accumulated, both politically with soft power and also, as I said, in climate change, and to try and communicate that inspiration. Also thanking France so much for the warmth of the welcome that they've always reserved for his late mother, the Queen, the way in which France, both President Macron and the French people in general showed such affection and respect to the Queen throughout her life and then upon her death, and was described indeed by President Macron as that golden thread. So a very grateful prince, a very happy prince on his 35th official visit to France, and on his first state visit. I think he's won over not just parliamentarians with a speech like that, and that wall-to-wall coverage you and I were talking about on French media will further win over other people, I think, as they get to know King Charles, not just Prince of Wales, King Charles better.